Well, for the first time in 5 years, we have a #1 selling game of the year, and it's not a Call of Duty game. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And anybody that's been paying attention to the games that released in 2023 knows that this has been a big year in gaming. And just to get an idea of how good of a year it was in gaming last year, over on OpenCritic, there are 19 games that have an aggregate score of 90 or higher. And that makes last year the year with the most 90 plus games in at least OpenCritic's database. Now, obviously they don't go back to games in, say, the 90s, or at least there's not a lot of data for back then. So it shouldn't be a surprise to see Call of Duty kind of get knocked off the top throne here with so many great games that came out last year. And what was the game that knocked Call of Duty off? That was Hogwarts Legacy. Let's take a look at the headline here from Variety. Hogwarts Legacy sold 22 million copies in 2023. And in this Variety article, they have an interview with Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment President David Haddad. Now, I have a link to the article in the description, but I wanted to go over a few other things here that Haddad had to say about Hogwarts Legacy. Now, in Hogwarts Legacy, you're not playing as one of the typical characters you see in the Harry Potter series. You actually create your own character, which Haddad believes is part of the success of the game. You can see the quote here: "It brought Harry Potter to life in a new way for gamers where they could be themselves in this world, in this story." And that's what the team at Avalanche set out to do when they were developing the game, and I think that's really why it resonated so well and remains the best-selling game of the year in the entire industry worldwide. That's a position that's typically held by one of these incumbent sequel games, and we're so proud that we've been able to break into the top ranks. And he goes on to add that the game launched originally on February 10th, and all throughout the year it racked up over 707 million hours played. And he points out how you can just go back and play through the game again and pick a different house and get a different experience storyline wise. And then he adds just some fun stats here. He says, then there's the fun in-game data, which shows 819 million potions were brewed, 1.3 billion magical plants harvested, 593 million magical beasts rescued, and 4.9 billion dark wizards defeated within the halls of the virtual wizarding school. And if you think it's just going to stop at Hogwarts Legacy, they've got some more games coming in the Potterverse. There is a previously unannounced Quidditch game, and also a series of other unannounced things. Now, I think we had some idea that this game was going to sell pretty good, considering it sold 12 million copies in its first 2 weeks, and that was when the game only came out on PC and the Xbox Series X and S, as well as PlayStation 5. Now, later in the year, we got a PS4 and Xbox One version, and the Switch version just came out back in November. And it was announced back in May at WB's investor meeting that the game had passed 15 million copies sold. So that means they've sold 7 million more copies since May, and this would include the Xbox One, PS4, and the Switch versions of the game. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that this is the first time in 5 years that Call of Duty was not at the top of the sales. We have to go back to 2018 when Red Dead Redemption 2 took that spot, which is of course made by Rockstar. And if you go back even further to 2023 for another time that Call of Duty wasn't #1, you have Grand Theft Auto 5, again Rockstar. Now if we go back 15 years to the third time that Call of Duty didn't take the top spot, we have We Play #1 in 2008. So this is definitely a huge accomplishment for Avalanche Software, Warner Bros., and all the team that worked on Hogwarts Legacy. Now we'll put one caveat there: Tears of the Kingdom doesn't include digital sales. but I'm not sure if it would still surpass Hogwarts Legacy considering it's pretty much on all the platforms. And I finally picked the game up over the Christmas break. I think they had it was like a 40% off. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. Now I've watched all the movies and I enjoyed them. And I definitely heard a lot of good things about the game, so I decided once it got a discount I would pick it up. And I'm definitely impressed with it. At times I do kind of feel some of that open world fatigue where there's just all these side tasks pretty much around every corner. There's things to find. But it definitely keeps you busy. I'm about 30 hours into the game and I don't think I'm really far in the main tasks. Just for example, I believe one of the main tasks I'm supposed to be level 11 and I'm like level 28. I've just been doing a whole bunch of side quests and just killing things. And I'm sure the end of the year sale in the game really helped to push the numbers up. They at least got me, who was sort of a holdout waiting for a discount. But let me know your thoughts. Have you played Hogwarts Legacy? Is that a type of game that you really enjoy? And if you did, what system did you pick it up on? Did you get it on one of the current gen systems, or maybe the Switch, or did you still play it on the PS4 and Xbox One? And if you did, how did it play? And I'm really curious if anybody has it on the Switch, what's been your experience with it? Most of what I've seen in videos online, it looks like they did a pretty decent job porting it. You wouldn't expect the best graphics, you'd expect something comparable to other Switch games, as long as it's not buggy or has like a 5 frame rate. But drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. And if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. It really does help the channel out quite a bit. I want to thank you for watching and be good.